from Tokyo, my friends. Hope you can see me okay. Hope you can hear me okay. Please let me know in the comments. So far I see Bob Kohler. And thank you so much for asking about my dad. He is doing well, thank you. Barry from Sydney, Australia. Harriet, Jim, and Yuki, as always, thank you guys so much for coming out. I see John here as well. And right off the bat, you may be sleeping, but want to say a big thank you to Jim Ross, as always, for the very kind PayPal before the start of the stream. Thank you so much, Jim. Oh, I see Shigeru in here. Shigeru, thank you so much for coming out. It was so great to see you a couple of days ago. Okay, I think the stream should be okay, guys, but I do feel a little bit of a delay, but hopefully things will be okay. Hello to Ralph from Germany. Amazing. So I know the time is probably a bit weird for my North American friends. I apologize. The only other option was me getting up at like 5 a.m. and streaming at like 6, 7 a.m. my time, but then not a lot of things would be open. So the only other option for us was at like 9 p.m. my time, your morning in North America, and Europe's afternoon. So hopefully we'll be able to get the regulars in here, but I know some people are sleeping and I do not take it personally. Thank you to anybody who comes out at any point in time during the stream. Oh, Ralph, thank you so much for noticing. I did dye my hair, guys. I got just a little blonde refresh before I left Bulgaria, so I am a bit more blonde, so thank you for noticing. Aspie, hello from Bulgaria, thank you so much. I'll be going back home in a week from now, actually, back to Sofia, but I'm about halfway through my time here in Japan. Kevin from the UK. Got people from India. Nature with Peter Kane, also in Tokyo, amazing. I actually have a funny story for you guys of literally meeting some subscribers just a couple of hours ago as I was exiting the subway station. You guys from Saskatchewan had met my dad in Saskatoon. He had actually told me about him, that, you know, he met my subscribers, and now I know who he was talking about. And the woman is a cousin of somebody I went to school with. What are the chances that in a city of 37 million people, of all the places people from Saskatchewan could have been, we crossed paths at the same time? It was absolutely crazy. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. Thank you so much for the super chat, Costas World of Music Memories. Hope your mom is doing okay, Harriet, Jim, and Yuki. Thank you so much, guys. She is doing well, and for anybody, you know, curious of where she is, she's not in Ukraine anymore. She's in Moldova for a few of the summer months. So she is doing well. She is living her best retired life. And yeah, my dad is doing well as well. He was unfortunately quite sick for a while, but is now on the rebound. So both of the parents are doing well. Oh, Jim Ross, thank you so much. I know it is so early there, so thank you so much for coming out. Amazing. Oh my gosh, my friend Jenya is on the chat. Barco Payne, hello from Ikebukuro. Oh my gosh, you guys. So if you come to Tokyo, you have to go to my friend's bar, which is all about craft gin. So go to Barco Payne, go try a cocktail, tell her that Alina sent you, because you will not regret it. It is such a great place. and I'm so glad that I got to see Zhenya while I was here, because we have been friends for Zhenya сколько лет? Наверное, 10. Probably about 10 years Zhenya and I have known each other, so it's always amazing to come back and visit. Stan, thank you so much for the super chat. Good seeing you in one of the world's best cities. Love the hair, the smile, and the backdrop. The world is smaller than we think, but larger than we know. That is very, very true. Thank you so much, Stan. And yeah, just made me remember again meeting the lovely pair from Saskatchewan here. Absolutely wild. Hello to Nomadic Entrepreneur from Brisbane. Hello. Amazing. All right, guys, so I don't want to just stand in one spot. We got a lot of ground to cover today. Obviously, I'm sure some of you can already guess where I am. Let me flip the camera. We are in Shibuya, one of the busiest districts here in Tokyo, that is also home to one of the busiest pedestrian crossings in the world, which is the Shibuya Scramble, which of course we will cross multiple times. But to start things off, I wanted to tell those who don't know the very touching story of Hachiko. Maybe you guys have seen the movie with Richard Gere. It's a bit strange that it was Richard Gere who played the professor, considering the professor is Japanese, and this is based on a true story where this lovely Akita dog named Hachiko would come to meet his owner at Shibuya Station every single day until, very tragically, the professor died, I believe, of like a brain aneurysm or something like that, and didn't show up one day. But Hachiko ended up coming every single day to the same spot in the station and waited for his owner for 9 years. 9 years until he finally, passed away of natural causes. So what a sad but beautiful story of loyalty by Hachiko. And obviously they have made a lovely little statue to his memory here in Shibuya Square, right beside the station. So if you come here to Tokyo, to Shibuya, definitely get in this very long line to get a picture with Hachiko. This is definitely a must. And I'm glad that so many of you have actually seen the movie. Oh, and amazing comment from Jim Ross saying that he really liked going to Zhenya's bar. I took friends there and now they take friends there because it's so good. Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Jim. Yeah, definitely spread the word, because, obviously, like here in Tokyo, there's so many, different bars, there's so many different places to choose from. But especially if, as a foreigner, you wanted to go somewhere really, unique, away from the tourist traps of the city, definitely check out Zhenya's bar, because it is, such a special, unique place. And it's usually mainly like locals who go there. There's not a crazy amount of foreigners, so you'll get a real authentic experience. Amazing. Okay, guys, are you ready? Are you ready? Because we are pretty close to the busiest crosswalk, if you can call it that, in the world, where they say up to 3,000 people cross it every single time the light changes. And that's pretty insane if you ask me. So I hope you're ready, because we're about to do it. All right. Let's get around the Hachiko waiters. Of course, the crosswalk is most busy during rush hour, so like 5 to 7 p.m. probably, but even at 9 o'clock, it's still pretty busy. Give you a full around view here. Oh, we'll wait for the next light to turn, but yeah, you can already kind of see it, right? Like, look at this. So many different directions. Everybody going every which way. And just lights and sounds everywhere.
Don't worry about everyone else. Don't walk around.
This is my favorite, I think, like, you know, famous city square anywhere in the world. Because obviously, you know, there's like Times Square, there's, you know, Champs-Élysées in like Paris. But to me, the Shibuya Scramble is my favorite kind of city center kind of chaos from anywhere in the world. And as we wait for the light to turn, I also wanted to make a mention that on top of this building right here is a really cool lookout point called Shibuya Sky. And while I would say that, you know, the Tokyo Sky Tree is definitely the best view of the city, this is such a cool view because it is right on top of Shibuya Scramble and gives you a really amazing view of the surrounding area. So I would definitely recommend going up Shibuya Sky if you are in the area. And it's actually not even that expensive. I think it's like $20 US or something like that. Definitely worth it. All right, light's just about to turn. I don't know which direction we're going just yet, but we'll go with the flow of traffic. And we're off. Oh, this is crazy. Everybody's always trying to like do a photo shoot in here, but it's actually quite complicated because you literally have to dodge so many people. Oh my god. It is busy on this side, holy moly. All right, we'll start over here. But yeah, just to give you guys one more view. Absolutely amazing. All right, we'll definitely cross it again later. But let's start with this part of the district here. So I got to Tokyo about 5 days ago, and unfortunately the weather hasn't been great. There's been a lot of rain, which has made it really difficult to, you know, get any proper kind of exploring and, you know, filming done. But I was able to get like 1 day of really important stuff done because tomorrow is the official start of the brand trip that I'm currently on, that I'm going to be on with Airalo, like one of my main sponsors who I love so much. So obviously I'm going to be, you know, on their schedule going forward. So I was really glad that at least tonight the weather seems to be all right, that I can show you guys around, and I was able to get like one main day of filming. So let me just see here. This here as I read your comments. Actually, one thing that I remembered though, let me just get out of this area with really loud music. I forgot that I wanted to say that, you know, my heart goes out to everyone in Canada that is currently affected by the wildfires. Maybe some of you don't know, but right now in Saskatchewan and Manitoba, but I believe there's even a little bit in Alberta, in BC, some really, really terrible wildfires that have even affected some people that I personally know in Saskatchewan that have like cabins at the lake up north. They had to be evacuated. And yeah, it's just absolutely crazy what has been going on, especially in Manitoba. I know there's some communities that they're like trying to airlift out. So to anybody affected, like, my heart goes out to you. Like, last year was already so bad for both BC and Alberta for wildfires, but now, you know, Saskatchewan and Manitoba are facing the same. So I really hope that they can get them under control as soon as possible. All right, we'll flip here back. So just to give you guys a view from the way we came, and now we are going to go deeper into the Shibuya district, which is very much an entertainment, shopping, restaurant sort of district. There's a bit of nightlife, but it's definitely not the main nightlife district. We'll see how things go and how much time it takes to kind of thoroughly cover Shibuya. But I had the thought that if we finish in good time here, maybe I can take the JR line and take you to Shinjuku, which is much more about nightlife and also has the red light district like Kabukicho. And, you know, that might be fun. So yeah, we'll see how long we take here in Shibuya, but maybe we can take the JR to Shinjuku as well. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much to Ninjetti. Thank you so much to Dean. Let me get in a not too loud part where I can properly read your message. A Tale of Two Cities. Alina, leaving politics aside, could you compare Shanghai versus Tokyo? Imagine you have to advise a young single Westerner starting out who has to spend the next 10 years in one of the two cities, including working there, meeting a maid, starting a family, etc. Well, that is a good question, Dean. I mean, there is so many factors to consider with that question. Well, if it's a Westerner, definitely, you know, Tokyo would, or like Japan, or did you say, yeah, Tokyo versus Shanghai? Okay, those two cities specifically. Tokyo would definitely be the easier option for sure. You know, I think Japan on a whole is just easier for Westerners to understand, even though there is definitely like a language barrier. There's going to be a language barrier in both Shanghai and Tokyo, but I think Tokyo would be much easier. And also, I do just see more foreigners in Tokyo than I would in Shanghai. So it'd be an easier sort of integration here. Probably would be easier with dating, I think. Well, of course, that depends on so many factors. And I would say that overall I would probably recommend Tokyo over Shanghai for somebody moving from the west. But I mean, Shanghai is also such an amazing city, and you know, I'm sure you'd have an amazing time there too. But just knowing how Westerners are, Tokyo would be the better fit, I think. But thank you so much, Dean. I hope you are doing good, and I hope you're getting ready for your big trip coming up. I'll have to talk with you once I am back to Sofia. Thought I saw my dad in the comments, but maybe not. Let me know if you guys see him in here. Draghi says the future is China, but you cannot beat Tokyo. Yeah, you know, that's actually a good way to summarize it, that, you know, China is definitely, now that I've, you know, more extensively traveled the country, China is definitely ahead of Japan as far as like living in the future and having more advanced technology. There's no doubt in my mind about that. But, you know, Japan is still obviously very innovative and, you know, definitely ahead of the West when it comes to many kinds of technologies. And it just has this, you know, very unique energy to it. Like there really is nowhere else like Tokyo, at least in my opinion. Oh, we have another person from Saskatchewan. Nitrous and Bias Plies from Blaine Lake. Hello. Johanna, thank you so much for coming out. Ali BHG asks, how come you didn't want to move to Tokyo again? That's a good question. Because yeah, I did live here for almost a whole year once. Lived and worked here, you know, as a model and actress. And while I did have an absolutely amazing time, like obviously I love Tokyo, I love Japan. It is my favorite place to travel to if I had to pick one. But funny enough, I know that I would not, you know, integrate here well long term, and there would be very many like challenging things for me here, and you don't really understand that until you try and like live here as a foreigner, because when you come here as a tourist it looks amazing, right? Like everything is great, everything is exciting, obviously the locals are very nice, but when you try and actually live here, and especially, you know, getting a, you know, in the local workforce sort of job, it's going to be challenging. Just the same as, you know, I'm sure getting a local job in China would be challenging. You know, the cultures are just very, very different. And there's almost 50% taxes. I was actually asking my friend Zhenya, I'm just like, so yeah, like what's your, you know, average tax rate once you factor in all the social security, like the pension, the healthcare, everything? Like 40-50%. Heck to the no, I'm sorry, like that's too much for me. So for the tax reasons alone, I would not do Japan. Oh, now Shannon asks another good question. Who has the better bubble tea, China or Japan? I need to know the important stuff. I agree, Shannon, that's very important. China. China wins on that one 100%, not only for just like taste, quality in my opinion, also far less expensive and far more selection. Like, believe it or not, here in Japan, I wouldn't say that they have a crazy amount of bubble tea. Like, there's quite a bit, but it's not a crazy amount like China. With China, you'll have like 5 different places all in, you know, a city block basically. So definitely China wins the bubble tea challenge. Ninjetti, I completely agree with you. Taxation is legalized extortion. Yes, it is, especially if that money is not being, you know, very well spent. I will say that at least here, you know, in Japan, you know, they do have quite a bit to show for it, such as having like incredible, some of the world's best public transportation, very clean and safe streets. And from what I've heard, you know, their public health care is also very, very good, although it's not 100% free. They actually have kind of like a system where the government pays the majority, but you still have to pay a little bit, from what I was told. So, you know, as far as social services go, I think they're pretty good. So at least their taxes have something to show for it, but the amount is absolutely insane and far too much in my opinion. All right, so after that little chat, let's keep on moving this way here. This place in front of us is actually new. This was not here when I was last here. Berea Tacos and Bar. Definitely new to me anyway. And Shannon says, as long as I see my tax dollars at work, but I'm American, so I'm not used to that. Fair enough. It's a tough time in Canada too. Oh. One thing that I wanted to say, guys, the biggest change that I have noticed, even compared to the last time that I was here in Japan just 2 years ago. There are so many foreigners here. Like, it's absolutely shocking how many foreigners there are here now than, well, especially the first time that I came here 19 years ago. I actually had to count when I was filming my first video here. I'm like, oh man, how many years has it been since my first visit when I was 15? And it was 19 years ago I came here. And at the time, like, I was one of very few foreigners. Like, you would see, you know, very few obvious, like, you know, white people, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And, you know, you would get stared at, like, you would absolutely get stared at as an obvious foreigner. But nowadays, like, you just walk around and, you know, they're everywhere, and they're not just tourists. Like, there's definitely way more foreigners who are living and working here in Japan. The government has definitely opened up immigration way more than they did in the past, because as with most Western countries nowadays, and, you know, I'm obviously grouping Japan into, like, the West, are having issues with their birth rates, right? Like, the local population just isn't able to sustain itself and to fill all the necessary jobs, so they are bringing people in on work visas. Now, I don't know how easy it is to actually get, you know, permanent residency or citizenship. Actually, I actually doubt that they're really giving out any form of citizenship. But yeah, way more foreigners than I've ever seen before, even working in, like, you know, convenience stores. It's just very strange, very, very surprising. Because for a long time, I thought that Japan would still be very, you know, slow to allow foreigners, you know, to kind of integrate, I guess you could say, because it is a very nationalistic, you know, sort of society. That's just the truth of the matter. So it's going to be really interesting to kind of see things change in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, like, to see Tokyo as a very international, cosmopolitan sort of city of, you know, people from all over the world living here long term. That will be a very big change compared to how things used to be. But on that same topic, as I was talking to, you know, some of my local Japanese friends, and as a, you know, whole sentiment, the Japanese are not very happy about the fact that, yeah, foreigners have just, like, rushed into the society here, because unfortunately foreigners don't quite always know all the, you know, cultural niceties that are expected here in Japan. And, you know, they tend to cause some trouble. They tend to be very loud, and I think they sometimes come off as rude, even though they probably don't mean to. So, you know, as a foreigner myself, and as somebody who's probably been guilty of that so many times, you know, I'm still a work in progress. I'm thinking that I should actually do a video of, like, what not to do when you are in Japan, because some things, like, you just you know, you wouldn't maybe necessarily know. Like, for example, you're not allowed to, like, eat and drink, especially on the subway, but even, like, you know, walking around, it's kind of weird to, like, walk around with, you know, food. That's kind of a odd sort of thing. Or, you know, having your music on blast instead of using headphones. You would think that's common sense, but it's not. You know, taking off your shoes, obviously, especially when you're in somebody's home, but even in, like, changing rooms here, you're supposed to take off your shoes. So, you know, things like that unless you researched it, you wouldn't really, you know that. So they're getting this huge influx of foreigners into the country, but, you know, it's a slow adaptation. Jim says, but Tokyo wins the matcha race. Absolutely it does. There's definitely no competition with Japan and matcha. Draghi says the prices of food hotels are half the prices of Paris, London, Berlin, or New York. They are trying to attract foreigners to visit Tokyo and Japan to help the economy. Yes, they are, and yes, it is. Like, Tokyo, for being such an amazing city, is genuinely like quite inexpensive compared to those destinations, but it's a double-edged sword because, you know, the local Japanese economy is unfortunately not doing that great, and people who are earning, you know, in Japanese yen, a lot of times, you know, their salaries have not seen the same kinds of increases as the prices have all over Japan. So with the currency exchange, it seems very cheap if you're coming from like Canada, USA, you know, anywhere that uses the euro. But, you know, for the Japanese, unfortunately, things have become more and more expensive with every single year. You know, of course, that's the case in many different countries, but from what I've heard, it's gotten especially bad here in Japan for the last couple of years, especially with the price of rice. One of my friends was saying how, like, the price of rice here has, like, doubled, which is obviously such a problem because that is, like, a staple food for everyone. All right, I'm gonna flip the camera here. We're actually just in front of a restaurant, which I like the system that they have here, you know, especially for foreigners. If you want to see a visual of what your food is going to look like, they have all of these plastic sort of bowls with all the different foods with all of their prices. I actually really like that idea. Just across the way here is a sushi restaurant that I've been to quite a few times, Sushi Zanmai. It's been here for a very long time. They have a few different locations, so if you need a recommendation here in Shibuya, I would recommend it. Yeah. Okay. As I was saying, foreigners everywhere. All right, let's keep on going this way here. Oh, this has also been here for quite some time. Outback Steakhouse. This has been here since I was 15 years old. That's actually quite impressive. Let's go down here. And another tip when you are in, well, primarily Tokyo, but it's in many Japanese cities, is always look up. You might be looking for an address and be like, it's right here, but I don't see it. Where is it? Well, there are usually a lot of floors in every single building, so make sure you always check these sorts of like sideboards, which will tell you what's the main thing on every floor, because so many times I've like walked in circles looking for places and I didn't realize, I'm like, oh, it's on the 7th floor of this building. So keep that in mind. Jim says visitors need to get out of the Golden Triangle, see Alina's videos, so many amazing places with no tourists. Yes, absolutely. Definitely check out the videos from the last trip that I did here, where I went to some lesser known sort of places. Of course, I recommend, if you haven't been to Japan, like, of course, come to Tokyo, Kyoto, Nara, Osaka, like all amazing places. But if you don't want the crazy crowds, oh no, somebody fell down, and you want a more authentic experience, then definitely go off the beaten track. Because at the end of the day, like, you know, Japan on a whole is a very safe country. You know, locals are very friendly. You know, if you need help, you can just ask, use Google Translate. Though I will say, like, in this visit, that's the other thing that's been so shocking, is when I do go into restaurants or convenience stores, I'm shocked that they actually speak some English to me, because back in the day, like never, you know, would that be the case that, you know, a lot of locals would know English. It was very rare to come across people that did. But now, because they're getting this like big influx of tourism. I think, you know, that's becoming one of the requirements of working in certain places is you have to know English. So Japan is definitely changing. Another fun thing that you have to do when coming to Tokyo, karaoke. They are everywhere and usually like 12 floors tall with a whole bunch of, you know, different rooms. So that's another fun thing to do when coming here. Oh, hello to Nico from Borneo, I think, is what they're from. Bella's Traveler from Southern Asia and the Philippines, welcome. And yes, you are correct, Ronnie. Don't give money tips in restaurants. I've heard that the Japanese find it offensive. Yes, for those who are not into tipping, you'll be happy to know that here in Japan that is not a thing. You do not have to tip, and yes, some people might actually find it offensive. So be aware of that. Kind of, you know, similar to China. Let's see here. Perfect. Oh, Nico from Bulgaria. Amazing. Oh my gosh. Flora and Note are here, some fabulous fellow travel YouTubers. Please try the spaghetti sandwich from Lawson's for us. You guys, I haven't tried the spaghetti sandwich yet. What? How did I miss that? Does it have literal just like spaghetti in some bread? I'll be honest and say I don't know if that visually looks appetizing, but if you say it's good, I will try it. Very interesting. Oh, interesting. More Bowmore says, I think talking about the tips, we never find it offensive, we just cannot accept it. Okay, well that's an interesting perspective. Is yeah, I guess like here in Japan, maybe just I don't know, in their work they're just not allowed in their contract to accept it. That's interesting. All right, guys, I'm gonna flip the camera here as we keep going. What kind of street food do they have over here? Or it's like a little restaurant. Kind of looks like fried chicken of some sort. I actually don't know what it is. But fried chicken is very, very popular in Japan. Here's one of the fun, like, kind of arcade. They have some vending machine kind of things in there as well. These are especially popular in the district of like Akihabara. You can win some like really crazy prices. Interesting. And then let's see here. The shopping is obviously amazing here in Shibuya, specifically Shibuya 109. If you are a girl, there are just like so many unique stores in there, and I believe it has like 13 different floors. Of course, now it's kind of like later in the evening, so they're not open, but during the day. So what do you guys think? Should we go to Shinjuku? I think we have maybe 2 or 3 main streets left that I wanted to show you. But I just hope that the signal won't go out while we are there. I mean, in the subway is the only thing. Oh, here we go. All right. Or no, wait. no, this is not the one. So easy to get lost in here. Shibuya itself is actually a very big district, but of course the part that we're in is the more central part. There's a lot of quieter parts, but they just won't have, you know, the lights necessary really to do this live stream. And they have IKEA, which is so fun. It's like a really tall IKEA. I've actually never been in the IKEA here in Japan. I wonder if it's like all the exact same stuff of the ones we have in North America. I mean, I assume it is, but maybe they have like specialty kind of stuff only available in Japan. All right, we're gonna go out this way here. What's actually really cool is that tomorrow I'll be switching hotels because that's the start of the brand trip, and we are staying in a hotel like right here in Shibuya that has the most amazing like rooftop patio with like, you know, skyscrapers all around and stuff. So I really hope we have nice weather tomorrow so I can get some shots to put in my video and, you know, show you guys that, because, you know, when I come to Tokyo, I'm obviously not spending a crazy amount of money on hotels, but with the brand covering all of our expenses, gonna get to stay somewhere really, really nice. So I'm excited for that. Let me just give you a view this way. A really famous store down there actually called Tower Records, which is all things music. So if you're a music lover, definitely go down to Tower Records. But we are going to go this way, back towards the crossing, of course. Thank you so much to Rob Ned for the super chat. Very, very kind of you. Canada could learn a lot about cleanliness from Japan. Yes, it could. Yes, it could. Look at these streets. Like, of course, sometimes you will get garbage, especially in the, you know, party districts, but it will be cleaned by morning. Like, it will be cleaned by morning. Very rarely will you see trash like anywhere in Japan, and that's not only, you know, their amazing cleaning crews, but that's also like people just not doing that in the first place. So absolutely we could learn a lot from them. So thank you so much, Rob. Very kind of you. Just wanted to flip the camera here and give you guys a view of our Canadian export of Lululemon, which has absolutely exploded all over Asia. Like, you know, in China, Lululemon is super popular. In Southeast Asia, like even in Bangkok, I know Lululemon, you know, has a lot of different stores. So yeah, apparently they've been doing incredibly well in Asia. So good for them. But if you have, you know, the option, definitely don't buy here. It's like 20 to 30% more than in Canada, and obviously it's like Asian sizing, so it's meant for like a much shorter and smaller sort of demographic. So if you have the opportunity, buy in Canada instead. But yeah, if you only have the Asian options, they do have it here now, so that's awesome. All right, guys, are you ready to cross one more time before we take the JR to Shinjuku? So let me try and sneak in here on this side. And we're off. once again. That's Shibuya 109, by the way. Definitely recommend going there. And I think there's a Yodobashi camera in Shibuya too, which is so great. I have to flip the camera out this way to give you guys a view of all the lights. I remember the first time that I ever crossed, you know, this intersection, you know, coming from Saskatchewan, having never been in Asia before. You know, Japan was my first destination in Asia. Like I was speechless of this kind of place. I'd never seen anything like it in my life. Amazing. Oh, I'm so happy we had good weather tonight, and so glad I got to show you guys around. Oh, Indian Mastiff, we already did the backstory of Hachiko. If you go to the first part of my live stream, you can see him then. And yes, you are correct, Jim. We are going on the Yamanote line, which is the green line of the JR train system. One important distinction that you should be aware of when going to Japan is there's two main train systems, and while they do kind of, you know, you can go in between them, you will be generally charged a bit more to switch. So that is the JR, and then there is the metro, like the Tokyo Metro system. So just be aware of that they're two different systems. The metro is mainly underground and the JR is mainly above ground. And the Yamanote line is the most famous because it's like this big circle that goes around the main stations of the city. So that is where we are going to be going, to Shinjuku station. I'm just gonna try and pull out my metro, or my what do you call it, Suica card. So that's already when we go through. It looks like this, but you can also get the kind that you put on your phone and then just tap it. So you have that available. Oh, that's funny. Flora note says we crossed about 5 times when we visited Tokyo. Yeah, right? It's just such a crazy experience. And now this will be another crazy experience because where we are going, Shinjuku, is actually the busiest train station in the world, as far as I have recently read. I don't know, maybe somewhere in China is kind of coming up to it, but for the longest time Shinjuku was like the busiest station. And Shibuya is actually pretty busy too, especially right now. Like, look at this. I'm actually a bit concerned how the heck we are going to get in there, but we will. We eventually will. If anybody has any questions they want me to answer, ask now, because it may be a little wait to get in here. Or maybe not. Maybe it actually is going pretty fast. Kind of have to go around this curve here. All right. Well, thank you so much to Sugar Rush Bandit. Hey, Eva here. Been enjoying the live stream. Thank you. Tokyo still looks amazing. Never been but one day. Would love to discover the historical and cultural landmarks. Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Eva. I really appreciate it. And one sec, guys. I'm just going to flip the camera here and show you as we get in the metro. All right, I'm gonna continue with talking to Eva, but first I'm just gonna show you guys we're looking for the Yamanote line, platform 1, 2. So when you're dealing with the JR, there's going to be like a lot of different platforms. Like with the metro, they usually kind of section you off, but with the JR, they'll have the platforms all in one area, so it can be a little bit confusing, but you just have to follow the numbers. So there we are, platforms 1 and 2. Oh my gosh. You guys, I'm so sorry. I muted myself. I did that the last time that I had a live stream. I apologize. The flipping the camera is right beside the microphone, so I don't know when I stopped, but was just saying a big thank you to Eva, and that I hope you are able to visit Tokyo sometime. So sorry about that. And I was also saying how, like, you know, common courtesy in Japan is that you should stand on the left and let people pass on the right. It's kind of the opposite of what we have in North America, because they also drive on the opposite side of the road, right? So that's an important thing to keep in mind. And then I was also saying how I hope I get on this train, because it is like crazy busy right now, and usually they come like every 2 minutes, but I am not seeing it come. Maybe there's a delay today, and that's very rare. Very rarely is there actually delays in Japan. Oh no. Well, you guys are getting the full rush hour experience today, even though it's not rush hour. Oh boy. Oh, this is not good. Just reading your comments here, guys. Alright, well, this is going to be nuts, because more people keep coming and the train is not. Actually, I'm curious who in the comments has been to Tokyo before, and I would like to know what was your experience. Feel free to be just like brutally honest. Nitrous and Bias Ply says out by Lloydminster hauling oil. No people or traffic, just horses on the road. Well, you're not going to find that here. Claude says good to be taller. True. But you know, there's so many foreigners now that, yeah, like I'm actually not that tall now. Oh, Stan has been here, been there and had good memories. Food is awesome there. Yeah, the food is definitely like absolutely amazing in Japan. There's actually very few things in Japanese cuisine that I would say I don't like. Like there's definitely some kinds of raw fish and what's it called? I think it's uni. Uni, I don't like the taste of. But overall, most other things, yeah, I really like in Japanese cuisine. What in the world? I have taken like the metro and JR so many times on this trip, and this is like the first time that we have had a delay. I mean, I guess that's good, but I wonder what the issue is. Oh, I think I missed a super chat. Oh my gosh, I think I missed a super chat from Michael. Michael, I'm so sorry. I think I was entering the station when you sent that, and I meant to reply. Hello, Alina. I hope you are doing well. Thank you so much, Michael. It is so good to see you here. And yeah, I am doing overall well. Obviously, I'm back in Tokyo. That makes me very happy. But unfortunately, I wasn't feeling well when I first got here. Not only was I, kind of jet-lagged and tired, but I had some kind of like stomach flu, and I'm not sure why or from what. So that also was a little bit challenging to deal with when I first got here. But thank you so much for the super chat, and I hope you're able to visit sometime, Michael. Big Alice asks, hello from Montreal. Question, I don't eat fish or seafood. Am I in trouble if I go to Japan? No, definitely not. I mean, there's just going to be a lot of things that, you're not going to be able to eat. Well, that's that side, but not our side. Hopefully it comes soon. But yeah, no, especially if you're going to like Tokyo, you will find everything. You can find every kind of food here, and they're far more open to like, food customization than they used to be, in the past. In the past, like, they're not going to customize dishes for you, but now I think with so many foreigners coming here, they're far more flexible. Plus, if you are vegan, there is an app called Happy Cow, and I believe it works all over the world, but it will tell you like where all the, vegan sort of restaurants are. So if you're vegan, then there's really good options for that as well. But of course, most Japanese cuisine will have quite a bit of seafood, bit of meat as well. So, for the vegans and vegetarians to have fully traditional Japanese food, not so much, but once again, yeah, you can find kind of workarounds. I'm gonna keep giving you guys a view of this absolutely insane platform. Oh man, I don't know how long to wait. Like, is it really worth it? Because it's gonna take a while to get there, to show you guys around, and then I also gotta go home before the last train, and this is just nuts.
Okay.
Oh, finally. But this is gonna be crazy. This is gonna be hard, guys. And I might not be able to talk as we go, so just keep that in mind. Because we're gonna be packed in there like freaking sardines. So, I don't even know. Let's hope for the best. Wish me luck. Well, I think we might be able to make it. Thank God it was kind of empty going in. We're just gonna push on in there. Oh my God, we made it. We made it. All right, guys. Oh, it's gonna get nice. Oh my God. Oh dear Lord. It is so packed in here. I really hope the doors don't open on my side. Alright. So let me actually see here. I don't know how many stops we have exactly, but it's not that many. I think it's like 2 to 3 to Shinjuku. Let's see here. Harajuku is next. Oh, thank you. Somebody said 3 stations in the comments. Perfect. So not too bad. Jim Ross says not as bad as I've been in sometimes. Yeah, actually, like this is, you know, approximately what rush hour is like in Tokyo. So if you can avoid it, like definitely avoid rush hour in Tokyo, because unless you got on when the train first starts and you can get a seat, like you will just be standing, you know, in a packed train for forever. So I really don't recommend it.
This is the Yamanote train stop for Shinjuku and Ikebukuro. The next station is Harajuku. JY19. The doors on the left side will open. Please use
Unfortunately, on my side.
and the Hachiko subway line.
I don't know how many people are getting off. Well, not many, thankfully. Then these people are going to try and get on. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. I am getting squished, guys. So tired.
ここにいます。お体を強くしてください。閉まるドアにご注意ください。ドアが閉まります。
Dave says this looks like a nightmare for my claustrophobia. Yeah, well, mine too, Dave. I'm not a fan of really congested places, if I'm being honest. I almost always like avoid rush hour, and I was not expecting it to be like this.
次は代々木オレンジは左側です。
Oh my god.
中央線の各駅停車千駄ヶ谷四谷方面の都営先大江戸線はお乗り換えです。 The next station is 代々木 JY18. The doors on the left side will open. Please change your for the 2-line local service for 千駄ヶ谷 and 四谷 and the 大江戸 subway line.
See, that's smart. It tells you, like, yeah, which other lines are, you know, at this location. So it makes it a lot, like, easier to transfer. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, I feel bad for anybody trying to get out right now. Oh my god. Okay, our station is next, guys. Big thank you to Tanyo Ivanov for the super chat. Thank you so much. And if you guys couldn't tell, even though it's so crowded in here, it is so quiet. It's so overall quiet, and I greatly appreciate that, which is why I am whispering. So I hope you guys can hear me. But usually you're not supposed to really like talk that loud on the trains here in Japan, so gotta be polite. Shinjuku, that's us. Oh, so it said, yeah, so there's a delay because there was a car inspection. So I guess maybe there was something wrong with like the train that they had to check for safety reasons. So I mean, fair enough. That's a good reason.
The next station is
Now, our madness actually not end here because Shinjuku Station, as I said, is absolutely huge, and I think the exit need is 15A, but there are so many different exits, and sometimes they're really hard to find. So let's see. Oh my God, sumasen. Oh shit. Oh my God. I'm like sweating. I was like this the whole time. Jesus. Okay, all right, we made it out. Jesus, that was absolute chaos. Okay, let's just get down and then we'll look for the station exit. Because like, look at this. I don't know if you guys can see the sign that we're going to like pass in front of us, but you will see just how many different train lines there are here in Shinjuku Station. And then it also obviously connects like to the metro system that I was telling you guys is also separate. So the amount of train lines and platforms that they have here, plus on top of that, it's also the Shinkansen. The Shinkansen also goes through here. So it's like absolute madness. Okay, so we need exit. Oh no, I just realized something. Not only, I forgot. Oh, can any locals tell me which gate is 15A? Damn it, I forgot this about Shinjuku. It doesn't just put the exit names. It says West Gate, East Gate, North Gate, South Gate, and I don't know which frickin' gate it is. Oh, damn it. Please, any locals, 15A. Which gate is 15A? If anybody could Google that for me, I'd appreciate it, because if I don't get the right gate, it's gonna take me forever to like get there. Actually, you are correct, Comrade R. Shinkansen doesn't pass through Shinjuku. It was another fast train I was thinking of. Sorry about that. That was my mistake. Okay, I don't know if anybody knows my exit question. I wonder if there's a map here somewhere. Just reiterating, if anybody knows where exit 15A, is it like the Central West Gate, North Gate, South Gate? I thought that they would have the exit numbers in here, but I forgot that they do this whole gate thing. Or I guess we just chance that I go to the Central West Gate. and then figure it out from there. It's just I don't come to Shinjuku that much, and so if I don't get off at a gate that I know well, it might just kind of mess me up for finding everything else. But okay, let's maybe just try the Central West Gate. Funky Child says you can take the elevator from the West Gate. West Gate, okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Funky Child. West Gate was that way then, right? West Gate to ground level, following signs for 15A. Yeah, amazing. Thank you. I greatly appreciate that. As you can see, it is chaos. The Narita Express, that's the train I was thinking of. Don't know why I said Shinkansen. Yeah, so it's the Narita Express that goes through here. That's the train that like goes from the airport really, really fast. Okay, West Gate, we are here. Okay, now 15. I want to go to Kabukicho. Wait, what the hell? I want to go to Kabukicho and it told me 15A and this is saying East exit. Okay, anyways, you know what? Let's just get out. Let's just get out and then we will figure it out from here. Yeah, that's what I thought. Kabukicho is to the west. I don't know why it says east. Oh my god. Where do I... How do I get out of here? Imagine you have to go through here on your morning commute every single day. Like, yes, I'm sure you'd like figure it out eventually. I don't know if this is where I go. West Concourse? West Bus Station? Or I don't know. Oh my god. Okay, let's just do this. But I was saying, like, imagine this is your morning commute every day, and like, yes, obviously in time you would know exactly where you have to go, but just like dealing with the crowds, right? Like every single day, that would drive me crazy. No, but genuinely, I don't think I've been in this part of the station before. I don't know where to go, guys. That says South Concourse. West Bus Station? I just need to get above ground. How the hell do I get above ground? Or am I? No, this can't be ground level, can it? I don't know. Oh my god. I mean, if it says bus station, okay, we're kind of outside right now. We're just in the lower part. There's got to be some stairs here somewhere. Let's take a look. Well, you guys will see something that for many years you did not see in Japan, which is homeless people. And this is very, very sad. I mean, there's probably obviously always been some homeless people in Japan, but compared to, when I first came here, you would almost never see people like on the street, especially cardboard boxes. So this is very, very sad. thank you so much to Gil for the super chat. Very unique currency there. I don't even know what that currency is. And for some reason, it won't let me see if you wrote a message on here. So if you did, Gil, please write it again in the chat. But I see the cute little super sticker you sent. So thank you so much. That's very kind of you. Bitcoin. Is that Bitcoin? I'm sure it's not Bitcoin. I don't think you can send that on here. But that's a really interesting currency. I've never seen that before. Somebody let me know what that is. That's cool. Okay, I think I know where we might be. Where we might be. But it's actually not good that I don't see a lot of people exiting out this way. Usually I should have chosen an exit that was busier, because God knows where we are now. Where are we? Yeah, I don't know where we are right now, but as we walk around, I'm sure something will jog my memory. Maybe. No, I still don't know. It's okay, guys. This is an adventure. We're on an adventure today. How exciting. All right. Hi. I got that. Oh, hi. Close? Oh, down? Oh, arigatou gozaimasu. Oh, damn it. I have to go back. After all of that, I have to go back. What is this day? I don't want to go down here. Oh my god. This is perfect, guys. Like this is a genuine, tourist experience. Getting lost in Shinjuku Station. This will almost certainly happen to you. Okay. West Square? Should we try going there? Let's see here. It's good I brought my power bank. As I was leaving my hotel, I'm like, well, I charged my phone to 100%. Oh no, I have to go back into this. Why? Yeah, as I was saying, it's good I have my freaking power bank so I can get home from this. This is why I don't come to Shinjuku. Thank you so much, Katsu. Hi, Alina in Tokyo. Watch your step. Thank you so much, Katsu. That is very kind of you. I'm just a gaijin lost in Tokyo. Okay, that's the metro. I know I can't go there. I came from there. Why does it say East Concourse for Kabukicho? Did I do that, guys? Funky Child says you should just stay in the station for hours and hours and have a live stream building everyone's anxiety. Well, that's what's currently happening. Okay, you know what? Or wait, or should I go West Square or should I go to the east where it says to Kabukicho, even though I remember on the map it showed the west was the fastest way to get there. Yes, I am going to Kabukicho. I see some locals in the chat. East. Okay, let's go to the east then. Okay. Oh my god. Indian Mystique says maybe those homeless people are not really homeless but trapped in the station like you. Well, I mean, shouldn't laugh because I'm pretty sure they are homeless. But you know, honestly, this could be like that movie with Tom Hanks or whatever, The Terminal, right? Where like his country ceased to exist, so he couldn't leave the airport terminal that he was in. So you could easily make a version here in Tokyo of the station, stuck in Shinjuku station indefinitely, and that would be hell. But at least there are good food options here in Shinjuku station. Oh, interesting. Exit B10 looks best, really. Because see, I got exit 15A when I was looking on the map for, like, you know, the main Kabukicho gate. Like, that's what I was aiming for. Okay, so it says East Concourse straight. And for Kabukicho, okay, exit up here. Okay, we're getting somewhere. And there's lots of people exiting here, so that's also usually a good sign. Once you get to the top of the stairs, you'll be heading towards Kabukicho. Oh, thank you guys, I love you. Do I keep going straight or do I have to turn somewhere? Because once again, I don't come down here a lot, so I don't know it as well as like Shibuya or Harajuku or something. Follow the white dude. Fair enough. Okay, I think, yeah, I kind of know where we are. I have definitely been here before. It's just been a while. This is, yeah, the Seibu department, or no, Lumine. Yeah, this is Lumine department store. Okay. All right. And now let me think. Do I go straight with the train and then it's to the right? Right, I think? Like, that's one way to do it. Obviously, I could go through here somehow. But I think I can go that way because then you kind of get the nice view of the lights and then I turn right. I don't know. Well, we're in Shinjuku, guys. That's the good news. We're above ground. We're in Shinjuku. There's a lot of lights. There's a lot of people, so we're in the vicinity. I think they're doing a lot of construction here. All this construction wasn't here when I was here last time. Look at everybody politely waiting for the light, even though there's no cars coming. Such model citizens. Rich says, hope you don't go into those love hotels mistakenly. I mean, it actually wouldn't matter. I wouldn't be able to make a reservation as far as my understanding. Correct me if I'm wrong, locals, but back in the day, you could not go to a love hotel like by yourself. And by the way, love hotels are where people make love. And you're not allowed to like go by yourself because some people would unfortunately do that while there. So I think you have to have two people to go to a love hotel. So all right, pretty sure I see one of the Kabukicho gates up there, right? Let's see. And yes, I will get there eventually, exactly. I might not get there right away, but I will get there eventually. Oh, really? Comrade Aris says, hey, at least in 2014, you could go alone to many love hotels. I stayed at one when I missed my last metro from Roppongi. Really? Oh, I don't know. At least, like, I remember somebody telling me that. And I mean, I guess it's no different than booking a like a regular hotel by yourself, right? But I swear multiple people did tell me that about love hotels, because usually, like, they're most used, you know, in the middle of the night when people are drunk and maybe, like, making really stupid decisions. But maybe things have changed now. Oh, yes. Okay. That's one of the gates. That's one of the Kabukicho gates. Amazing. We are here, guys. Look at this. This is the main drag here in Shinjuku. Also so many lights. And Don Quixote. Absolutely, if you've never been to Japan before, you have to go to the Don Quixote stores. They're the ones that have the little penguin as their mascot, and it's like 12, 13 floors of the most random but amazing things you will ever see. So definitely check that out. And there's also lots of like really great izakayas I find in this area, like lots of really good places to eat. Well, we see Godzilla. Do you guys spot Godzilla? This is Godzilla Road, but since it's kind of dark out, it's kind of hard to see Godzilla himself. I'm gonna try and like zoom in on him. 1 second. He's on top of the Toho cinemas. Can I zoom in here? Do you see him? There he is. So scary. Amazing. Oh, want to say a very big thank you to Rahul. Thank you so much, Rahul, for the super chat. That is so sweet of you. Thank you. Hope you are doing great. Amazing. So yeah, guys, we're officially where we meant to get. So thank you to everybody who helped me through that. That was an adventure I didn't plan on, but you know what? That's literally a part of the experience of coming to Japan, is you will absolutely get lost at some point in time. So very authentic to the experience you guys, I'm sure, will have. All right, so, whoops, second. Let's start making our way into the district, but of course there is many different streets to visit. We will not get to all of them, but we will see some of the more interesting ones where a very peculiar type of business tends to take place and that this area is known for. Can anybody write in the comments what that business is and what happens during it? I mean, a lot of things I guess could happen, but you know, the basics. Tanyo says rent girlfriends. Kind of. That's not the official name, but kind of. And I mean, that itself is technically a business. Here in Japan, they have some really weird rental services where you can even rent a whole family. I saw somebody do a YouTube video on that where you can literally rent, you know, they're actors obviously, to pretend to be your family. Yes, you can rent a girlfriend. You can also rent a pet, because here in Tokyo, it's actually super expensive to have a pet in the first place, and many buildings don't allow animals, so many people end up renting pets whenever they want just like a fuzzy companion for the afternoon. But nobody has said the proper name yet. Come on, I'm sure you guys know what this area is known for. What is Kabukicho known for? Comrade says used underwear vending machines, mirror floor bars, multiple wildly themed cabarets. Should I continue? Yes, I mean, you are correct on all of those things, but what is the biggest business, guys? What is the biggest business of Kabukicho? Hello? It's host clubs. Host clubs, you guys, where you pay people to be nice to you, to sing karaoke with you, to fill up your drink, all for the low price of hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars if you're getting the champagne at the end of the night. And you know, for the longest time I used to think it was just such a really odd kind of concept, because obviously as a woman, especially as a woman, like, over my dead body would I pay a man money to like keep me company and drink with me. But you know, the more I thought about it, and because you know, Japanese society, especially the ones that you know are, you know, salary men and women who work really, really hard, who don't have time for a social life and to really like commit to, you know, a relationship long term, you know, the more I thought about it, I'm like, why not? You know, why not? Especially if the people actually working at the host clubs are there, you know, by choice, and if they actually enjoy their jobs, you know, why not? Prostitution is a whole other thing. Like, I know it's the oldest profession, it probably will always continue, but personally I am against prostitution because there is just too much exploitation on the women's side. So I personally am against prostitution. But as far as host clubs, where generally it is just like, you know, flirting with the guests, yeah, drinking together, doing karaoke, dancing, that kind of stuff, you know what? Why not? Yeah, it's a very like unique, you know, kind of culture that I haven't really seen in many other places, because in most other places it's just prostitution, right? Like you get straight to the point. But here in Japan, actually just being in somebody's company is the point. So I find that actually quite interesting. But yes, you're right, Comrade Ayres. Technically, prostitution is illegal, hence there are so many indirect ways upwards the same end results in Japan. Yes, of course, I'm very well aware that in many host and hostess clubs, it can also go to that. But from actually the videos that I've seen of people who work in that industry, like many actually say they don't, you know, sleep with the clients. And I mean, at the end of the day, they're still paying a lot of money, you know, just to be in the clubs. So, you know, I don't think most of the interactions that happen in host clubs, both men and women, actually like end up in prostitution from my understanding. All right, guys. Let me give you a view of all the lights here. And then you can kind of see a little bit of Godzilla. I don't know if that's like his hand or something like that up there. I'm not quite sure. But, yeah. Okay. Onwards and upwards. Let's get into the district. This is definitely the wildest and messiest area of Tokyo. This is definitely where you will see the most garbage. where by 2-3 a.m. you will see quite a bit of puke on the ground, so actually watch where you're going. And yeah, this is probably the one area that some people might say, you know, be careful in this district. Because of course, if you actually go with, you know, you see like all the different promoters, like both men and women, right? Kind of like standing on the sides here. They might just, you know, be inviting you into their clubs or try and like solicit you for other things. So, you know, you don't know for sure who you're going with. So I would probably say like, don't follow the promoters, you know, don't talk to strangers, probably to do your research ahead of time of like, you know, which bars are really good to go to and then just go directly there. I don't know what this guy is doing. Let's see. What are they doing? Is she going to hit him? Oh my god. What in the world? Well, that is definitely one of the most interesting street performers that I have ever seen in my life. That is fascinating. 500 yen, that's 5 Canadian dollars, about 350 US, to smack this guy in the ass with a bat. So, yeah, I mean, make that money. Let's see how hard this guy can hit. Amazing.
Imagine being friends with that guy.
Yeah, for sure. No. Who's gonna go for it? Oh my god. Well, I can't say that I've seen that before here in Kabukicho. And now this, there is like a section here that is all completely marked off, but there's these two dudes like passed out. At least I think they're passed out, or they're like having a nap. I mean they have alcohol bottles beside them, so I think they're probably just drunk. So yeah, this is a great introduction to Kabukicho for you guys. And as you can see, people here are just chilling on the sidewalk, drinking and smoking.
So famous, wow.
There we go. Oh, you know what we haven't gone by yet? At least I don't think this is it. This is still like an arcade kind of place. But another thing that's really, really popular in Japan is pachinko, right? Like that's their form of gambling, because gambling is technically, you know, illegal here in Japan. But pachinko is this kind of like a slots sort of game, but they have a lot of different kinds, and you win these like little balls or whatever, and then you trade those in for a prize. And you know, it's like, I don't know, it can be like, I don't know, a stuffed toy or some kind of electronic or something else, but almost always people will take those prizes, and in the back streets you can exchange it for like a certain amount of cash. So pachinko is also pretty popular in Japan, and I don't think I've seen one yet on our journey. Let me see here. Which way should we go? Samo summarizes it very well, says everything is illegal in Japan, but not really. Yes, I mean, you know, it's good in a way that they try and curve, you know, some you could say like bad habits of society, but at the same time people find ways around it, right? Or there's like some kind of similar alternative, so it's not like 100% banned. Let's see here. All right, guys, so I am just going to wander around these streets. I don't know super well, but I'm sure as we get going in here, we will start to see more like host and hostess clubs, which, yeah, like I said, in my opinion, is the most kind of interesting part of this whole district, because nowhere else in the world like would you have a red light district where it is kind of to just sit and chat with somebody, right? If it's a red light district, you know, it's usually more than that. But actually, having said that, I don't know if you guys remember, well, 2 years ago when I came to Japan and I went to Osaka, and I was staying in the most dangerous part of Osaka, Nishinari, I think was the name. And in that district, they have a red light district, and I got to go walk it on a local tour, because usually they actually don't want foreigners walking around there by themselves, and I don't think they allow foreigners as customers. And that was more or less a real red light kind of district, where it was literally, you know, like women kind of sitting in the windows, and, you know, you go up to the mama-san and, like, you know, say what you want, and then she'll say the price. Like, so that to me was the most obvious example of like prostitution that I've ever seen in Japan. But once again, I think it was only allowed for like locals to be a part of it, not foreigners. So yeah. Yes, absolutely, you are correct. Librarian life. I'm from New York City, so the worst part of Japan is probably safer than any part of my city. I assume you meant to write. Yes, that's exactly it. Like walking around, you know, the worst parts of Tokyo or Osaka, like never in my life have I been like, you know, afraid or like seen really sketchy things going on. But at the same time, of course, there is crime that happens, you know, sometimes, especially, you know, not that I've personally experienced it myself here, but I have heard, you know, from some women, both locals and, you know, tourists, that unfortunately they have gotten some really like creepy and inappropriate, sometimes violent advances from some of the men here. So, of course, you know, it sucks to be a woman in that way, where you have fucking assholes like that target women. But, you know, thankfully, personally, I haven't really experienced any of that. The worst that I've had in Japan was from an American, so can't say I've actually had that many Japanese guys approach me. All right. And another place that hopefully we can get to at some point is Golden Gai. There's this really cool little district. I want to get back into the host club, so I'm gonna go back in here. But there's a little area called Golden Gai somewhere in here that has all these tiny bars, usually only enough space for like 2 or 3 people at the counter. And back in the day, maybe they're not allowed to now, but back in the day they actually did discriminate against foreigners, and like about half of the bars would like have signs saying no foreigners allowed, which, you know, fine, whatever. But yeah, that's another like really cool area. here in Shinjuku as well. All right. I'm starting to see the Love hotels up in front of us. And for anybody who's just joining or missed my explanation, Love hotels here in Japan are basically regular hotels. Usually they have a bit of a cheesy theme to them. And while you can rent them for the night, most people rent them by the hour, if you know what I mean. So, you know, in this district that, yes, is mainly host and hostess clubs where you chat with people. Of course, there can be more that comes from that. And if it does, people go to these Love hotels and rent it for a couple of hours. Or, of course, just regular people who want to have a fun time. So, New Grand Hotel Wako. I remember there's somewhere in here, there's like a Bali themed one or something like that. And then what else you'll also start seeing is the host clubs, which to me, I almost feel like when I've walked around here past times, there's more host clubs than hostess clubs. Like there's more places that women can go to chat with these, you know, very sexy men than there is hostess clubs. Like obviously in the other parts of Tokyo, you will see far more hostess clubs than host clubs. But in Kabukicho, personally, I feel like there's way more host clubs than there is hostess clubs. And I find that really, really surprising. Today is Sunday night, though. I guess I forgot to mention that for anybody like joining from North America and not sure of the time difference. It's Sunday night here right now, so it's not quite as busy as, you know, Saturday night would be. But here we go. We got Ricky. Who else? We got Aki. He looks very young. We got, I don't know. I'm sure they're all very lovely looking men, but as I've mentioned, I think the last time that I did a live stream here, is that like I personally, you know, obviously I'm westernized. I have a very Western mentality. I do not find the, like, you know, host club type and, you know, the whole, like, K-pop trend, you know, like the young, you know, Asian singer groups or whatever. I do not find that kind of guy attractive, like, whatsoever. Like, there are so many, you know, Japanese, Chinese, any kind of Asian guys that I find super attractive, but it is not that type. Like the whole baby face that dyes their hair, that wears like very stylish clothes, and that is usually, you know, like very skinny. You know, personally, I'm just not at all attracted to that. So I find it really interesting that like here, perfect example, that is like the ideal type, right? Like for these, you know, host kind of guys. And I don't know. I just don't understand it. And I'm really curious of like, where did that sort of, you know, trend come from? Is it from like anime? Because, you know, they obviously look almost like anime sort of characters. But yeah, for how long has that kind of been the preference instead of I don't know, very like masculine looking guys who work out and who don't wear makeup and don't dye their hair. Like, I guess I'm just old fashioned like that. I don't know. But I personally find it super, super strange. See, here we have another one. Like, so many host clubs. Like, I'm not really seeing no. Sheriff, you are incorrect saying women are not the real target audience. Yes, they are. First of all, LGBT, you know, here in Japan, while of course it does exist, it is not, you know, super out there. And no, gay people are not the main demographic to the male host clubs. It is women. It is women. I was shocked too, but it is women. So no, it is for the female gays. And when you think about, you know, how popular like K-pop groups are, even in North America, right? Like, lots of people love K-pop. They obsess about, you know, the young stars or whatever, and a lot of them kind of have this very like feminine aesthetic for the guys. So, you know, it's different. Just like over here. Very interesting. No, Samo, you are incorrect. I do fancy Asian boys. I just don't fancy those kinds of Asian boys. I have actually dated a few Asian guys, but they definitely did not dye their hair, wear makeup, and they went to the gym, so I found them very attractive. But, you know, each to their own, obviously, whatever floats your boat. I just want the, you know, the question answered of like, where does it come from? Like, where did it come from, this kind of preference from women? That's what I'm curious about. Actually, let's go this way. Oh, here it is. Here is the Bali Love Hotel that I was talking about. Bali Ann or something like that it's called. It's supposed to, yeah, like have glamping. It has glamping kind of suites, whatever that means. Yeah, Shannon, I agree. It's got to be from anime. I think so too. Oh, interesting. A local says gay people drink at a bar on Nichome Shinjuku, so in a kind of close district to here. Comrade says you can blame Twilight. You know what? Actually, yeah, when you think about it, the guys kind of do look similar to the Twilight vampire characters. So many vending machines, but these are more normal sort of vending machines, not the weird kind of vending machines. Let's go down here. Oh, this is the baseball diamonds. I don't know if you guys can kind of see in here. There's like people playing baseball. More host clubs. For anybody curious about this whole, you know, lifestyle and, you know, world, there's a really good documentary on YouTube. I think it's on YouTube about like the highest paid host in Tokyo. I forget what his name is now, but it's like really blonde hair or something. And I think he said he makes like over $100,000 a month or something like. something like that. So yeah, like makes crazy money. Let me see here. There's some kind of promo video of what you can expect inside the club, I guess. Interesting. Fascinating. All right. So, can anybody tell me how I get to Golden Gai from here? And am I far from Golden Gai? Because we've technically been live streaming for almost 2.
配信者ですか？僕も配信者で、縦配信の方がね、多分伸びると思うんですけどね。
こんにちは。
Are you from here?
Canada.
Oh, Canada.
Canada.
Nice to meet you. I'm
Nice to
Japanese.
meet you too.
ほら、今これほら、ほら横だからこれ縦の方が伸びると思う。これ縦にした方がいいと思う。
How many people?
How many people? There's 241.
Wow.
How about on yours?
かわいい。わかる？癒し系わかる？癒し系。
Alina? Alina です。
かわいい。
ありがとうございます。
かわいい。
ありがとうございます。
Do you speak Japanese?
ちょっと。
ありと。
はい。大丈夫。ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
That's great. I wish I knew more Japanese in circumstances like that. 私は Alina です。I actually wonder which platform he was streaming on. I wonder, like, do they have any platforms that we don't have in North America, or do they just use, like, because his was like vertical, so I assume it's like Instagram or like what's the one, Twitch or something like that. I know some people stream on Twitch, but those are usually gamers. So yeah, maybe any locals, let me know if you know what platform he was streaming on. But that's fun. Let's see here. Optioning asks, do you see a lot of vloggers or streamers in Tokyo? You know, surprisingly, no. Like, not a lot. I know there are, but not a lot. Not like in China. In China, you will see so many people filming everything or live streaming, but in Japan, not as much. All right, this is the street I was looking for all along. As you guys can see, this is like a whole stretch of host and hostess clubs. Now we're getting into the ladies. Very kawaii. Kawaii means cute, by the way. Kirei means kind of like pretty, beautiful. But kawaii is used for almost like everything. Top Dandy. Oh my goodness, men's nightclub. That sure looks fun. Oh, they even have shisha here. That's interesting. Huh. So from my understanding, the way most host clubs work is you have to pay a certain kind of entry fee, and obviously like the top clubs, they'll be more expensive, or if it's like a really fancy sort of club, it'll be more expensive, and then you have to buy drinks. Like, you can't just go in there and like order water, at least from my understanding. You have to order alcohol, and you know, the most expensive stuff will be like a bottle of champagne or bottles of other hard liquor. And usually if it's at a bar with like really, really famous host or hostesses, you know, to meet the top girls, you would have to be buying, you know, the most expensive bottles of alcohol. You couldn't like, you know, buy a $30 drink or something like that and see the top like host or hostess. You would have to spend a crazy amount of money. I think those are like the main ways that people spend money at the clubs. Maybe there's like other experiences that you can have that are an additional cost, but from my understanding, it is just the entry fee and then the very expensive, you know, drinks that they sell there. And then the hostesses, like obviously how they work, they do get an hourly wage from my understanding, but then they get a commission of any alcohol that's sold to the client that they're talking to at the time. So obviously they want to like upsell as much as possible. Started talking about the host clubs, which also, look at this one. That's actually a nice sign. That's a good photography. We got talking and I forgot to look at your comments here if anybody had told me how to get to Golden Gai. Let's see. Did anybody says, oh, Zhenya, my friend in the comments says, let's go into a hostess club. Oh my God, guys, I don't think I could do it. Like, I would feel so awkward. And second of all, I think most of them only speak Japanese. So, I mean, I couldn't really have the full experience of being, you know, wined and dined. Not that I think we eat that much, but I couldn't get the full host experience because I don't speak Japanese. Zhenya, who speaks Japanese, maybe that's what we should do next time. What do you say, Zhenya? Next time you and I go to a hostess club and you can, or a host club, I mean, and you can translate for me what they say. If you go with me, I will go. Amazing. Okay, yeah, so I don't think I saw any comments of anybody telling me how to get to Golden Gai. So I will, okay, I wonder if my stream will keep going and if I can check Google Maps. I hope it doesn't stop. Okay, one sec, guys, I'll be back. Can I actually exit out of this? Or maybe I can't. Maybe, oh my God, I'm so happy. Oh my God. No, I'm back, guys. I'm back. I'm back. It's all good. It's all good. Okay. I'm back. So, I think I know how to get to damn taxis. Okay. I think I just go straight. Yeah, I'm literally so close to Golden Gai. Okay. So, let's go do that. Oh, is this it? Is this it? Somehow I remember this from last time. I have no idea. I think this might be it. Somehow I remember this, but actually I don't know if this is going to Golden Gai, but you know what? We're gonna go down here. Let's see. I feel like we've gone on so many adventures here, guys. This is already over 2 hours and we have done so much, haven't we? We got lost in Shinjuku Station. There was a delay with the train. We got to explore Shibuya. We got to see the host clubs. Okay, actually, I don't know where we are. I thought that this was Golden Gai. Isn't it? Like, I somehow remember a path kind of like this. Did I mess it up? Should I have just kept going straight? I somehow remember this kind of path with Golden Gai, but I don't know. It is Golden Gai. Keep going. Okay, thank you. I'm so glad I have people on here who know where I am to guide me. Oh, but is Golden Gai open today? Because once again, it is Sunday night. So I know Sunday night's not the main drinking night. Oh, but I hear sounds. So maybe it is. Yeah, I think this is Golden Gai, but we just have to go up here to enter it. Yep, there's all the foreigners. We're at Golden Gai. Yeah, so for the longest time, Golden Gai actually used to be more for the locals. As I mentioned, they actually didn't even let foreigners in to half of the bars. But now, unfortunately, you could say it's become a bit of a, like, you know, tourist trap, where it is just a whole bunch of foreigners that come down here, and I think they've like raised the prices a lot. So that is the current situation, but it is still a really, really cool place, and you know, part of like Tokyo's history, because some of these bars have been here for such a long time, and it is just such a unique experience. So even though it is a bit touristy, I would still recommend, you know, coming down here. So yeah, how cool is this? Even credit card okay. Actually, I see a couple of signs that say you're not supposed to be filming here. That's actually new from my understanding. So I don't know if somebody's gonna say something to me or we just keep it moving. Hopefully it'll be okay.
What could be better?
But yeah, as you can see, literally almost everybody around here is a foreigner. Please go to the heavy metal bar. Interesting. Haven't heard of that. All right, let's try and go down one more street, because I think there's 3 streets in Golden Gai, so let's go down at least one more. And then we're gonna finish things off. This is cool. I like when they actually have, like, you know, art on the buildings. Jazz Fusion City Pot. Thank you so much to my lovely friend and local Shigeru. Kanpai. Cheers. Thank you for the super chat. I've hardly ever set foot in Kabukicho, so your insights were very helpful. I've heard that Tokyo metropolitan government has been cracking down on that area to improve public morals, but still, please be careful. Oh, that's interesting. Well, yeah, I mean, I do see actually quite a bit of, you know, security, especially when we were kind of, you know, in the host kind of area. So, you know, I think it is patrolled, but of course, like I said, especially if you start following people, right? If you follow some random person off the street and they promise you, you know, some kind of special experience, and you know, you accept drinks from strangers, I think that's when you could potentially get into trouble. But as far as just walking around, and especially, you know, before midnight, it's very busy. There's a lot of foot traffic. It's very unlikely, you know, you're gonna get jumped or something. But of course, never say never. Things could happen, and it is best to just have Google Maps on you, so you know you don't get lost if something happens. So thank you so much, Shigeru. Greatly appreciate you coming out, and so glad we got to have that great visit while I was here. Let me give you guys one more view here as we exit Golden Gai. And then we will end this stream, which is one of the longest that I have done in a very long time. We are over 2 hours and almost 10 minutes right now. So that is quite a bit. Thank you all so much for coming out. It was such a pleasure to show you my favorite city in the world. If I didn't already say, Tokyo is absolutely my favorite city in the world, and I think this is my 7th trip. So I always love coming back. I'm always gonna come back. So stay tuned for the videos that are going to be coming from out of here. I will have an Abu Dhabi video coming out this next week, which I hope you guys will like. Then there's going to be a life update video that I shot while I was in Sofia. I'm just going to move because the bars are kind of loud. The foreigners are starting on the karaoke. And then the Japan content will start. And for this brand trip that I'm doing with Airlo, I'll be doing one video from Tokyo and one video from Kyoto. So I'm very excited to do that. And we're going to be actually doing some experiences that I haven't done by myself in Japan. So that will also be very, very exciting. So thank you all so much for coming out, especially the regulars. Big thank you to Dean, Jim Ross, Rahul, Shigeru. I appreciate all of you, Harriet, Jim, and Yuki. Really appreciate you guys coming out, and everybody who especially woke up early in North America. Thank you so much. Greatly means a lot. Rahul, thank you so much for the super chat. So cute. And the next time I see you guys will probably be obviously back in Bulgaria. And it will probably be from Bansko, where I will be at the end of the month. Maybe on the 21st, I think, is the day that I would probably live stream from there before the start of Nomad Fest. By the way, if anybody is going to Bansko Nomad Fest and doesn't yet have their ticket, I have a discount code. Alina BNF 25 will get you 25 euros off of your ticket. For anybody watching and who is planning on going but hasn't booked their ticket, you get a discount if you use my code. So hope to see you there. Sending you all lots of love. Thank you so much for joining me in Tokyo, and as always, keep being your own kind of beautiful. Bye guys. Oh, and thank you so much to Tanyo. Got your super chat just before I logged off. Thank you so much.